Diary entries, often writers are really trying to speak towards what is unspoken in their lives. What they can't speak to the ones who love them and whom they love. Things that are sort of building up inside. It's not therapy, and I don't want us to confuse it for therapy, because therapy is not about making art. The diary as a form is. John Cheever wrote those diaries his entire life, and he meant, when he was writing them, he fully meant or intended that they would be read someday by complete strangers. So even though he's really sort of expressing what is unspoken in his daily life with his wife and his kids and his brothers and sisters, he's making something beautiful through the accumulation of entries, but also individual entries. There's that one entry: last night I dreamt that I appeared on a postage stamp. It's a beautiful sentence. Beautiful. Diary entries really emphasize the movement of the mind. We see the mind working through a problem. We see the mind digressing. We see the mind moving, often without transitional language. We see the leap of the mind into the imaginative, into what is inactual, what is dreamed. I think one of the, and I've sort of alluded to this already, but these entries are revealing the divided self. We are divided creatures. We try our hardest to try not to be so divided, of course, in our conversations and in our workday and in our interactions with our kids or our parents, and yet those divisions still exist inside of us. And often, really, if we're not expressing them out in the world, they sort of grow. These entries often reveal the divided self. They are self-portraits. They are portraits of self. They have a lot of diaries of writers, especially an artist. They have a lot to say about art and process. I'm not sure I gave you any entries that do that. Well, Jules Renoir, the French writer, I think that you might have some entries where he's speaking about himself, about his work. What's interesting about the Dadaut, Alphonse Dadaut, in The Land of Pain, that diary, that notebook, he's talking about something extraordinary. It's pain. And yet, because his pain is chronic, it's actually very ordinary for him. And he's trying to sort of describe what can't really be described. You know, people struggle to express the experience of pain to others. It's very difficult and challenging. And he does it. He does it through very clipped and fragmented, aphoristic kind of statements that sort of turn on themselves. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So there are the qualities of diaristic writing. We have, short, brevity. Present moment is very important. The present moment out of which the writer is writing. You have a lot of sort of ordinariness that shifts into extraordinariness, or habitual. That's the sort of habitual reporting, the reporting of habitual activities that is then broken by something extraordinary or irrational. The writer's working through problems, the revelation of the divided self, and most importantly, that feeling that the writer is, or the self is speaking or approaching what is unspoken. That seems to be the real heart of a diaristic kind of writing. Okay, be ready. Next week is going to be different. Week 6, I'm going to throw some stuff at you. It's going to be surprising. You might want to put your helmets on next week. There will be pugs.